Hello everybody, Shelly here, sometimes known as Shelly Tsunami. Today I'm going to play with Natasha Denona's Metropolis palette. This is a gorgeous, fun, grungy, shiny, interesting palette. And we're going to create 3 looks because why not? If you have this palette, I would be curious to see if you've actually accomplished any of these types of looks or if you've done something completely different. I have a favor to ask you guys before I get into today's video. Leave me a comment down below with your top 3, 4, 5 YouTubers that you watch. I've got the same ones that I always watch, and I'd be happy to share them with you. But I want to see who you guys watch too. I am constantly learning, and as I've told you guys before, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm doing 3 looks today. One I really, really like. One that I'm like, nah. One that I'm like, I think I like it. So you'll have to watch the video. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me who you like to watch. And if you are at all interested in watching a lady of a certain age who's not a makeup artist, try to decipher whether or not she can get 3 looks out of one palette. And is that palette a good, value? Is it a good use of her money? These are questions that we like to answer on this channel. We try to stay out of politics and gossip and all those other kinds of things. Yes, we know that there's a virus going on in the world, so a lot of us are stuck at home right now watching YouTube. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. And yeah, with that, let's get into the video. Changed my lighting. I think I look healthier, not quite as washed out as I was before. And I played with some of my favorite colors, these kind of grungy greens with the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I did a whole face of like high-end makeup today that I normally don't get to play with, but I thought it's kind of like that story about the good china or the good linen, you know, that you leave in the bottom drawer and you don't take it out because it's for special occasions. Like, why not play with high-end Natasha Denona makeup? And I have a bunch of it, but I just dropped it all over my floor, so I'm not going to show you what I have used, but just trust me, I've used all way expensive stuff on my face today. You know, do I notice a difference in quality when I use budget-friendly things versus not? You know, it just depends on the brand. I thoroughly enjoy brands like C Color Cosmetics that provide really great consistent quality and oftentimes, you know, inspired by higher end brands. I have not seen a dupe for this particular palette. Please leave a comment down below if you guys have one, because I waited a very long time before I finally pulled the trigger on this. And something about this palette just really speaks to me. So I'm excited to kind of film for it because I haven't done that yet. Excited to play with it a little bit more. I did largely green look right now, and I spent a little bit more time than I normally do on it. So I'm going to take this off, which breaks my heart a little bit because I think it turned out actually very, I don't know, can you see? They turned out actually pretty well. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. But I'm going to take it off and I'm going to do another look. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think I want to do something kind of sunset-y maybe. I almost wish I would have put some of this on. Oh, that's fun. Boy, that makes a little bit of a difference, doesn't it? I didn't realize this one's there, but I used a little tiny pop of this one just underneath a little bit. And I'm not going to re-photograph my thumbnail picture. I like the way these colors work together. I think they're really cool. And I'll do this look in the future just because it just blended really well and I'm really excited about it. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take this off. I'll be right back. When you look at this palette, it doesn't immediately look to me like it makes a lot of sense. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, that kind of looks like a look, that looks like a look. Like I can start to see some-ish. There's far more shimmers and metallics on here than there are mattes. I don't know. Maybe it's not far more, but it certainly feels like there's a lot more when I go to look for, hey, I need something for you know, I need something as a transition shade. I struggle to find something that's not a shimmer. I ended up taking a larger fluffy brush and just sort of blending the holy heck out of it. And so they ended up kind of like watercoloring together a little bit more. But I don't mind the look. I think they actually did blend okay. Is this a look I would wear out of the house? Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know under what circumstances I would actually leave my house these days, but if I had to do a look where I left the house and I really wanted something kind of warm and sunsetty, I would probably do this. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So far, so good. The quality is, you know, what you'd expect from a super high-end palette. Do I think this is $129 worth of palette? I don't know. I mean, I don't have another good dupe of it, so I can't really say. I'm not disappointed that I spend the money on this because it's something that I really wanted. And I do have some of the little ones. Dropped them on the ground earlier, but I do have a few. The mini gold palette I really like. I did a 3-look 1 palette with the mini Layla. You look at something and you go, oh, okay, well, you only have 5 colors. Is that going to get you a full look? I did 3 looks. With this one. I did 3 looks with that one already. And this one I haven't even really played much, and that's a mini star palette. Yeah, the mini star palette. This looks pretty virgin to me. There we go. Now I got it to focus. Don't even think I've dipped into this one. I probably need to do that, huh? And all these things fell on the floor. So I do have one of the complexion palettes. This is the Sculpt and Glow palette. I used that today, actually. I also have the Blush and Globe, the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. I keep trying to use this. And when I start using it, just this color is so harsh, and I try to buff it and buff it and buff it. I buff it a lot with that, but I find that because these are so shimmery, I end up with a lot of texture. And then I ended up having to go over it. Like today, I went back over it and back over it, and I finally kind of got rid of some of the texture. And then I just used the Hourglass blush afterwards. I also have, this is the Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette. And I did use a little bit of this as well because, you know, why not? That's it as far as like my Natasha Denona stuff. I did use the Laura Mercier primer. This is the Blurring Pure Canvas primer. I got a little travel size of this. I think it was still 20 bucks. It's not the most expensive in the world, but it's a travel size. So you don't get a lot in it. But I didn't want to buy a big thing and not have it work. Question earlier, what I use for a primer. It really just depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I just kind of go over it with excess foundation, whatever I've got, or concealer, or whatever I've got kind of on my brush. I'll just kind of go over the top of it. Today I actually went in with a little bit of the Tatcha Pearl all over to kind of brighten it up. I did use Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I really do like that. I've tried other ones and I just keep coming back to it. And before even the primer, I went in with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I love that stuff. I have some of the Laura Mercier setting powder. I'm going to probably use this at the end. Okay, you guys, here I am babbling, and I'm going to take this look off, and I have to leave the palette out because I need that. And I'll be back with one more look. with this. Look number 3. It is significantly darker, edgier, grungier than I thought I was going to do. I mean, I saw this bright blue in here, which they do have color names on them. Let me tell you what the name is. Aqueous. That was like the one that I immediately drew to when I opened this up. So this look, I'm not upset by it. Do I think it's pretty heavy? Yeah. Despite it being Friday night and we're not going anywhere. And I have all of this going on right now. Do you know what I love about it? This is Natasha Denona. And if you've ever seen pictures of her, she's gorgeous, by the way. I mean, she always, every picture I've seen of her, she's got this smoky, smudged eyeliner type look, which reminds me a little bit of that whole heroin chic, Kate Moss, you know, 1991 type thing. There's something about kind of a grungy, smoky look that feels dirty, feels like it tells a story, feels like there's something more that you're not really getting. And sometimes that's actually kind of fun. I don't know. Tell me if you disagree. Leave a comment down below if you totally disagree with me. My thoughts on this. Do you need to spend $129? Or some of her palettes are $239 for a palette. It's excessive to me. I can think of other things I'd rather kind of spend that kind of money on. This is a palette that I had kind of coveted and I treated myself to a while back. My husband was actually going to buy it for me, but he ended up giving me like a gift card for Sephora, so I ended up buying it online and it covered almost the entire cost of the palette, so it was kind of a joint effort. Do I feel like I need this palette? No, you don't either. You don't need this palette. If you haven't bought it yet, you don't need this palette. Is it a fun palette? Absolutely. But you have to understand the aesthetic of Natasha Denona, to me, is everything is very shiny. All of her models, all of them are very shiny looking. Because that's what she does. She likes to layer the shininess. I don't know. Not the shining, but the shininess. I think a little goes a long way. There, that's my proclamation. Very pigmented, unless this is something that it's like, oh my gosh, this has everything I need. I never need another palette again, and you want to drop that kind of money on it? Great, knock yourself out. For the price of this, you could have gotten 12C Color Cosmetics palettes. Almost just as, probably as many ColourPop palettes. And yeah, you might have to dip into several palettes to create the same looks, but it's possible. I don't know. It just depends on, I guess, in your storage space. And some people are really into the quality over quantity, and I think that there's something very noble about that. I've often tried to be that person, but that's the way I was raised, I guess. This is a fun palette. It was fun. It was fun to do a bunch of high-end makeup, even just to stay at home. Do I think it performed any better than the less expensive variety? No, not really. I wasn't gonna get into this kind of deep stuff, but I'm gonna share my thought with you. Today, it felt to me like, now you're not gonna see this for a couple days. So think about where you were a couple days ago to get my mindset. But today was kind of one of those days where I felt, okay, I've been inside. I've been at home, and sometimes I work from home, but I always have a chance to leave the house and, you know, run to the grocery store or go do whatever you want to. Like, you have that freedom. Today was the first day that I really kind of thought, maybe this is just all a dream. Like, I can hear cars drive by outside. So maybe it's not as bad. Maybe I dreamt the whole thing. This, like, that surrealism. And that was weird, because then you open up social media, you get on the news, and it's like, we're a month out from hitting our peak, so the experts say. That brings you back to reality. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring the obvious. We're just trying to make use of our time, doing something that we enjoy. I could be reading, I could be practicing a foreign language, I could be working out, which I need to do, but this gives me an escape from it. I'm going to remind you guys, not a makeup artist. I didn't get any of this stuff in PR. I'm not affiliated with any of these brands. I would love it if Natasha Denona wanted to affiliate with me in some way, but I'm pretty sure she's never going to if she hears my videos where I say, you don't need this. Sheli Tsunami, if you're not already following me on Instagram, please do. I'm not going to apologize for talking about makeup. I'm not going to apologize for making mistakes and screwing up and doing something that frankly looks a little, maybe even a little muddy. I'm not going to apologize for not being perfect. This time in our life right now that we're going through may leave us with some scars. You may end up where you get huge amounts of anxiety when you see crowds. You might have a complete utter meltdown when you go to the airport and you have to touch a doorknob or a handrail. You may end up being agoraphobic and just saying, you know what, I can live at home. I'm fine. I can have everything delivered to me. I don't need to leave my house. We don't know what the long-term effects is going to be, but every single one of us is living through it in some way or another. I hope you guys are journaling this. I hope you guys are writing down the emotional roller coaster that I know you're going through. Write down what your thoughts are, what your fears are, what your hopes and dreams and aspirations are, and then I hope you go back and read it. We don't know how long the tunnel is, but we know there's light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you guys subscribe if you haven't already gotten tired of me rambling here. But I hope you guys come back around. I hope you stick around. I tend to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday pretty regularly, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you again. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. And until next time, bye for now. It's Friday night. We're on lockdown and I'm not going anywhere. In fact, my wonderful husband just brought me a glass of wine, which I have not, look, there's not even any lipstick on it. So I'm gonna drink some. Cheers. Pretty darn good. Okay.